What is up, you guys? All right, so I just felt that I had to put this video out there, and I'll get into all of the reasons why I think that nobody's going to get any more stimulus checks and what you probably will get in its place, though. There's just been so much information, and I feel that it's time that we start getting real and stop living in a fantasy land. Now, there's no argument that YouTube is seeing its fair share of videos giving detailed breakdowns of every single stimulus package or proposal that seems to come out every other day. My feed was slammed with new stimulus update after new CARES Act update after new CARES Act update to $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month, $800 a week, just a hailfire of stimulus check promises. Yes, that is even me, taking it upon myself to contribute to the YouTube algorithm, hopping on the coattails of a hot topic. Tomorrow, I can make another video on a new proposal, just feeding into the false hope that checks are going to be coming for an indefinite amount of time. But I figured, fuck that. I'll just give a video on a realistic view of what you will be getting. And no, it's not another check from Uncle Sam. So far, we have spent $2.5 trillion on stimulus funds, and if we keep going at this rate, the budget deficit would reach $3.7 trillion by the end of 2020. That would be the largest size as a share of the economy since World War II. By the end of September, when the fiscal year concludes, the size of the national debt will have exceeded the national output of the economy. Now, you do not have to be an economist to know that that is not good. Now, to be clear, when I say that you will not receive another stimulus check, that does not mean that I do not think the government will approve another stimulus bill. I do think that there will be another bill coming through, and this time it will be specifically targeted at states and small businesses. Currently, there are 3 bills that have been proposed as the new stimulus package. Now, out of the 3 bills, I don't think that there is any one of them that is going to get through, but I think that there is one that would look something like what we might get, just possibly with some additional benefits added to it. The bill I'm referring to is the Getting America Back to Work Act. Now, again, let me be clear. I don't think that this bill is going to get passed or this is at all what it's going to look like, but I think that this is probably the most realistic view of what we would get. Now, that would be refundable tax credits to employers up to 80% to help people get back to work. While tax rebates aren't really stimulus checks that are just deposited straight into Americans' banks, this plan would allow employees to stay on payroll and be eligible for continued employee benefits. In turn, by reducing the downtime companies would need to restart their operations while they wait for the economy to open back up. Now, what you personally would be getting from this would be a rehiring bonus from your employer that you would receive after being laid off or deciding to come back to work. Currently, the federal government is already giving $600 to anybody who is out of a job and currently on unemployment benefits, which for most is probably more than they were making before the crisis had even happened. My guess is that we see this extended for an additional 3 to 6 months. Those who have been on PPP, the Paycheck Protection Program, the ones who possibly have been on a temporary layoff would also qualify for the additional bonus. You have to look at it this way. America is going back to work. That means that more and more people will be going back to work, doing better and doing better, putting that money back into their pockets each week. Do you really think that the government is going to choose to hand out more stimulus checks when it looks like the economy is heading back to some type of normalcy? Also, these proposals with these massive checks going back to Americans, they're all being proposed by Democrats. And with Republicans holding the Senate and the presidency, I'd say come hell or high water that they would let some Democrat come in and save the day. We also just don't have the money for something like that. Now, it looks like the House and the Senate are going to be going back to work on May 5th, and I am sure that as soon as that happens, we will be getting tons of promises that a new stimulus bill or a new stimulus package is going to be coming through with checks for Americans, but I doubt that'll happen. The only way that I see that we have $1,200 in checks or more going back to Americans is if we go back into quarantine. Now, if something does get passed, then and only then will I make a video on it. As for now, I will focus on just making normal content on real estate, money, business, entrepreneurship, and as soon as something happens where this is all finished, I may do a recap of everything, but as for now, I'm pretty sure that everyone is just quite burnt out on stimulus check updates from everyone. I'm talking to you, Kevin. There's still so much work that needs to be done with small businesses, these mom and pop shops, the ones that have been, the most affected by all of this. I definitely think that most of our effort needs to be going towards them. Now, before you click out of this video, will you do me a favor and please smash that like button? I really appreciate it. You can go ahead and hit the subscribe button and keep up to date on everything that I post. And I promise that my next video will not be on stimulus. All right, sounds good. Bye, you guys.